commenting on the situation earlier today, but we do have some breaking news regarding the Ravens kicker, Justin Tucker, after drafting Tyler Loop. This is according to Shefty. The organization continues to insist this is a football decision, and this amidst sexual misconduct allegations against their longtime kicker, Justin Tucker. So that is breaking news on NFL Live. We thank Mina. We thank Jim Harbaugh's brother, John.
We have breaking news out of the NFL where the Ravens have released kicker Justin Tucker. The news comes just a few months after he was accused of sexual misconduct at multiple Baltimore area spas, prompting the NFL to start an investigation. That remains ongoing. Now, Tucker is the NFL's all-time leader in field goal percentage and holds a record for the longest kick in NFL history at 66 yards. He's also the Ravens' all-time leading scorer. Here's a look at the statement released just moments ago by the Baltimore Ravens that reads, "Sometimes football decisions are incredibly difficult, and this is one of those instances. Considering our current roster, we have made the tough decision to release Justin Tucker. Justin created many significant and unforgettable moments in Ravens history. His reliability, focused drive, resilience, and extraordinary talent made him one of the league's best kickers for over a decade. We are grateful for Justin's many contributions while playing for the Ravens. We sincerely wish him and his family the very best in this next chapter of their lives." For much more on this, let's go ahead and welcome in our own lead NFL insider, Jonathan Jones. JJ, let's just start with your reaction to this news.
You know, Jordan, ultimately not a huge surprise when you consider, look, the Ravens are saying this is a football decision. Well, they made a football decision on the last day of the NFL draft when they drafted Tyler Loop, the kicker out of Arizona. It was the first kicker, in fact, in Baltimore Ravens history that the organization had ever drafted. And so you have a 35-year-old kicker in Justin Tucker coming off what was by far his worst season as a professional, not just his own worst season as a professional. When you consider how great he has been on the field, you noted that he has the highest and best percentage in terms of field goal makes in NFL history, but it was below average among current NFL kickers. And in fact, it's never been easier to make a 50-plus yard field goal in the NFL these days, and he really, really struggled. In fact, the last 2 years, he has made, I believe, just 7 out of 16 50-plus yard attempts. So you have him coming off the worst season of his career. You obviously have allegations totaling more than a dozen from various spas and massage wellness centers across the Baltimore area. And then you draft a kicker who just made a 62-yard field goal in his college career, was pretty accurate there for the Wildcats. And so not a huge surprise that ultimately the Ravens are parting ways with Tucker. But obviously, it's obviously a shock anytime one of the best winds up getting released.
Most definitely. Well, you alluded to it that the team insists that this is a football decision. As you mentioned, Tucker's struggles last season were undeniable. But at this point in time, where does the NFL's investigation into all those allegations stand right now?
Yeah, so I just got a text from an NFL spokesman who told me that the matter remains under review. So the NFL has not concluded its investigation and the process that it has been undergoing for really the last several months. When these allegations first came up, I believe it was around January or so. Then in February, and the Baltimore Banner has been at the forefront of the reporting on this, they reported that the NFL investigators had spoken to some massage therapists. Typically, almost always in NFL investigations, they talk to as many people as they possibly can before getting to the accused. So it is unclear at this moment whether the NFL investigators have spoken with Justin Tucker or not. Also very important to note that he has denied all allegations of wrongdoing. And again, in the statement, the Ravens make no note of that. In fact, up until this release, they had said that they would wait on any investigative findings before making a decision. And so with no end or no conclusion to the investigation, with Justin Tucker continuing to deny these allegations, the Ravens are saying it is a football-only decision, and it's impossible to know if these allegations had not come to the light, whether or not the Ravens would have drafted a kicker in the 6th round, or if Justin Tucker would be released today. But the facts are that that's what's taking place now.
All right, and just lastly here, just to follow up on that, JJ, as the investigation remains open with the NFL, considering all the off-the-field factors with Justin Tucker, how likely, in your opinion, is it that another team picks him up before next season?
So I think that any team would be wanting to wait until the results of the investigation are known, right? I do not foresee an NFL world where someone is going to sign Justin Tucker before the NFL's investigation has concluded, before those findings are made public. Again, he continues to deny all allegations. If the investigation proves him correct, I could absolutely see Justin Tucker on an NFL team at some point in 2025. If the investigation shows what many of these massage therapists are claiming to ultimately be true, it would be difficult for someone who, again, in their mid-30s, who has struggled more than he ever has in his career, find it hard to believe that someone would ultimately sign him for this upcoming season.
All right, JJ, we will leave it there. Thanks so much for joining us here live on CBS Sports HQ with the latest as the Ravens have released kicker Justin Tucker. Here is the look at the statement released just moments ago by the Baltimore Ravens that shows no mention about the sexual misconduct investigation that is ongoing by the NFL, but does read that Justin created many significant and
lot to improve their offense in the draft. 4 of the 6 players that they took were skill players, led by running back Omarion Hampton in the 1st round. That's tied for the most skilled players the Chargers have ever taken in the first 5 rounds of the draft in their history. And Jim Harbaugh talked about what he's losing sleep over in L.A.
Woke up the other day and said, got to get Justin Herbert to the Hall of Fame.
Oh.
Must get Justin Herbert to the Hall of Fame.
You woke up and said that?
Yeah. It's just one of those things where you wake up and kind of like 3:34 in the morning.
Right.
And sometimes that's when your best ideas come.
Yeah, I know.
And
I'm with you.
You kind of process that, and that would mean winning a couple Super Bowls, and there'd be a lot of people would benefit, from that. So that's a worthy goal, and I think it's necessary that we get him surrounded with as many good football players to his level as possible.
Have you ever said those words to Justin Herbert? I'm going to get you to the Hall of Fame, or I want to do that?
No, I haven't. That was really, you're the first person I've said that to.
I'll take it. Or the ceiling is the first entity you ever said it to. I imagine 3 a.m. you're just saying.
Yeah, that was the first entity. That was when. So yeah, let's then speak it into existence.
Okay, obviously that was with Rich Eisen, and I'm sure that conversation was news to his quarterback. Swagoo, what do you think about what you just heard?
Okay, first I had a negative reaction.
Yeah.
Okay, it was very negative when I did the notes because I was like, why in the hell would we mention Hall of Fame next to Justin Herbert? The man got to win 2 playoff games in a row before we start talking about that. Here's the thing. I get it now. Because context matters, and that's what we lose in society now. I saw Jim Harbaugh and the way he was talking about it with Rich Eisen. I saw the lightheartedness, understanding that Justin Herbert is supremely talented now. Nobody's denying the fact that he's a super talented quarterback with a lot to do if we ever start talking about Hall of Fame. But the speaking highly of your quarterback is all that was. So shout out to Jim for continuing to elevate his guy.
I mean, in elevating his guy, elevating the team, I mean, Mina, that is all in the context of being in the same division as the Chiefs. I mean, AFC West, 7 consecutive titles. How did the Chargers begin to chip away at that dominance?
Yeah, I think they got closer last year. You really saw that defense take a leap forward under Jesse Minter, their coordinator. I think the pass rush is probably going to have to improve in the long term to, handle Patrick Mahomes the way we've seen teams who have won against them. But offensively, the vision that Harbaugh has for this offense, which is an offense that has a big arm, talented quarterback, but also can play ball control football and run the ball. That makes sense in terms of thinking about playing, going up against the Chiefs. The problem is they couldn't run the football last year. So you go out, you sign Mekhi Becton to play guard, you draft Marion Hampton. We'll see. I think a lot of it is going to come down to whether or not that Becton signing works out and the interior of the offensive line looks better. But the vision that Harbaugh has for this team, when I think about what it takes to go up against Kansas City, it does make sense to me.
Yeah, I think that he knows what he's doing, obviously. And if he's building a team, an offense that isn't reliant on the passing game, then maybe it might be tougher to get Justin Herbert to Hall of Fame. So every time he talks about Justin Herbert, he says wonderful, glowing, incredible things so that Justin Herbert knows that he loves him and believes in him, so that when the time comes that they do need to lean on him to win a playoff game, they know he can do it. So Harbaugh knows what he's doing, and he knows that winning Super Bowls is the best way to get a quarterback in the Hall of Fame.
All right, we talked about
Forgettable moments in Ravens.
Sẽ móc sang cái màu sắc tiếp theo đúng không ạ?
And right now, when affordability matters most, Hyundai is committed to keeping our prices the same, with no increase to MSRP. And not just on a few of our vehicles, all of them. That's the Hyundai way.
My kids can't hide anything from me. I'm home. Especially when they've been using toilet paper that doesn't hold up.
Alright, whatever.
Anh sẽ siết chặt phần đen màu vàng.
Okay. Let me cover this. So did y'all see this? So apparently there's this guy, some random guy. He walked up on DeMar DeRozan. And I think he was trying to troll him.
Hàng này mình sẽ mất
Well, he
một
ended up
bộ
getting
đơn.
attacked and body slammed or slapped by, he says, this is his tweet. He
Mình
says,
mắc
I
một bộ
just got
đơn
attacked
vàng
and
qua.
body slapped by DeMar DeRozan.
Tiếp tục mắc vào nha mọi người. Chúng ta phiên từng mũi. Móc lại một chút kiểu như này. Móc tiếp này. Nữa này.
That's the most guaranteed first you can take.
Cứ móc lần lượt từng mũi vào đó. Tiếp
4
đi mọi
days
người.
away, and even though nobody knows exactly where we'll see quarterbacks.
Bro, the level just started and we're already getting overrun. I gotta take these guys out and build this crossbow tower as fast as possible.
Back Shador Sanders next season. We do know he ain't hard to find. He also apparently hasn't.
FC Dunkin' Bucket. Now anyone can dunk.
Tiếp tục móc vào đó.
With 3 sauces, fries, new mashed potato poppers, and original recipe tenders. Dunk for $7 or get enough to share for 25.
Nên là sẽ đổi sang cái phần lưỡi chai thông thường này. Đây mọi người móc cho mình cứ từng mũi một nhé. Móc khoảng 1/3 cái vành mũ là được. Không móc một nửa nhé, một nửa là hơi bị nhiều đấy. Mọi người móc cái lưỡi chai thì khoảng 1/3 thôi. Móc lại cái mũi này một chút. Đây. Mình móc vào. Tiếp tục nha mọi người. Cứ lần lượt từ mũi cho đến khi được cái đường viền nổi như thế này. Tiếp nha. Mũi tiếp theo này. Đấy, mọi người cứ làm lần lượt thế này cho mình là được. Mình tiếp tục mình móc. Đây. Thêm một mũi nữa nha là sẽ dừng. Thêm một mũi nữa. Ok rồi. Đây nó sẽ vuông góc nha. Đây này mình móc mũi nổi thì cho nó vuông góc. Cắt cái dây đỏ đi cho nó đỡ vướng, nhìn cho nó dễ. Rồi. Đây nha mọi người. Cái phần vành này nó vuông góc với cái phần chóp mũ. Bây giờ mình sẽ móc cho nó dài thêm ra. Móc dài thêm ra. Nói chung là cái lưỡi chai thì móc độ dài tùy ý nhé. Cũng không có một cái quy chuẩn gì cả đâu. Lưỡi chai ngắn hay dài tùy